getting hot out there, Harold. It's getting real hot. I don't know what's going on with the weather. If the weather is the same thing as the climate, I don't even know that. I don't know who to believe at this point. I don't know if this is normal. I don't know if this is abnormal. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know who to trust. None of these numbers make any sense to me.
Okay, so true words never been spoken. He doesn't know anything. The fact that you just you don't understand the difference between weather and climate. And I understand that he's telling a joke, but do you understand that underlying that is that he actually does not actually understand those things? The numbers do make sense. If you're familiar with the science, if you're familiar with the predictions, all of this makes sense. Not cosmically, like why we would do this to ourselves and our descendants, that doesn't make sense. But the way that the climate heats over time does make sense. The issue is that is not gonna translate as you would expect into maybe rethinking your positions on climate policy. He immediately transitioned to this.
If I were Hillary, I would blame China.
Good one.
Why does she blame the Republican Party when China is the one with all the greenhouse gases? That's where you want to be politically in this. And I don't know anything about the science.
Okay, so he doesn't know anything about the science, but he's pretty sure that greenhouse gas emissions cause climate change. So I think he's now caught up to us on that, but doesn't care about our emissions and thinks that the solution to the fact that there's record-breaking heat is to be more xenophobic towards China. Wonderful, Jesse Waters. Glad you got that promotion. Nina, what do you think?
Jesse. I mean, he's only the political side of this is only that we need leaders of the world to take climate chaos seriously. Maybe we don't want to call it change because there is a kernel of truth to saying the climate changes all the time, but it becomes, does it change this drastically, this quickly? What do the scientists say in this moment, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others who don't want to use just even a little bit of common sense? You know, John, my grandmother used to say common sense ain't common anymore. But the point about the politics of it is that world leaders need to take climate chaos seriously. It is going to impact all of us. It is impacting all of us. We know that people are dying. I mean, reports from Texas about people literally dying. David Sirota, one of our favorites, and Don't Look Up. You know, this is Don't Look Up, Come to Life. You want to talk about art imitating life? That movie certainly is imitating life. Now, the fact that he is so callous and cavalier in his comments and making the joke about, Secretary Clinton and China makes no sense. This ain't the time for that kind of foolishness. This is a time for a serious global effort to stem the tide of climate chaos that will impact each and every person. It will impact poorer people or more economically and socially challenged people quicker. But nobody is going to escape that. Not even you got it with the X trying to get to Mars. At some point everybody is going to be impacted by this. But seriously, it does impact more marginalized and vulnerable communities quicker. But food supply, John, as we know, water supply, the quality of our air, soil, the ecosystem itself is impacted. The animals are telling us, plant life is telling us, Mother Earth is telling us, human beings, you are messing this up.
Yeah, every one of those resources is threatened right now, but unfortunately, foolishness is a renewable resource in American politics.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.